Mourinho is gonna save Real Madrid. Make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get straight into it because the special one is back at Real Madrid. We got the here we go, and I just can't wait for him to come in because this is probably the best manager we could have brought for the occasion, right? Maybe there's more tactical managers, maybe there's more newer, up to date managers. But Real Madrid doesn't usually need that. Like when we brought up Ancelotti last time, we brought him back from Everton. Everyone was saying that he was washed. Everyone was saying that he wasn't going to get a big team again. We bring him in from Everton, and what happen, right? Benzema Champions League season, Vinicius Champions League season. So at Real Madrid, we don't need the best tactician. We don't need the best new upcoming manager. We need a manager that's going to come in and do what's best for the team with the players that we have. Whether it's egos, whether it's a lot of egos, little bit of egos, we need a manager that's special for the occasion. And Jose Mourinho, I think, is the special manager for this occasion. I think if you brought in another young manager, it would the same thing that happened to Xabi Alonso would happen with anyone else, right? With any other upcoming manager, the same problems, the same egos, the same ideas. Have to side on one with one manager, have to side with the other with the player. Like it would be crazy again, right? And Jose Mourinho, I think he's the ego of egos. He is the guy that when you talk to him or you listen to him, you just hear the confidence that he puts in himself, the confidence that he has in his teams and what he's doing. I know he went undefeated with Benfica, and they still lost, but it shows that he still has something in there. The defensive side is still there for Benfica, when he was at Benfica. And Jose Mourinho is just, I know he wants a Champions League with Madrid. I just know he wants to win it with Real Madrid. When he was with us last time, I think there's that little thorn still there of when we lost the penalty kicks to against Bayern, where he was on his knees. Everyone knows that special picture where he was on his knees, just like destroyed of how when we got knocked out. I think Sergio Ramos missed his penalty, Kaká missed his penalty, Ronaldo missed his penalty. Like it was a disastrous moment for everyone, and I think especially for him. And I think he has that fire in him. He wants to win the Champions League with Madrid. And if he does win the Champions League with Madrid, it would be one of the best things on his resume. So there's a lot of things going talking about this, right? Because a lot of people are calling him washed. A lot of people are saying that he's not up for it. I still think he's up for it. I still think he has the capabilities to do something special at a big club. I think the last big club he was in was probably Manchester United, and he won a trophy. I guess you could say Spurs, but he's got Spurs to a final. So there's still a lot of things that could happen at Real Madrid. And look, I'm not saying it's going to 100% be a success, right? Because he could pretty much come in and get in a fight with all the players, break up the players again, and it could be a disastrous time. I'm not saying that's not a possibility, right? But as a Madrid fan that likes to stay positive, that likes to stay on the good side of history, that likes to think positive outcomes, I think he could do it. I think, look, once again, it's very possible that he comes in, fights with Mbappe, fights with Vinny, puts Jude, fights with this player, fights with Rudiger, there's fights with Courtois. There's very high possibilities of this, and especially with his older self right now, his younger self, he's confident. He has the hunger. He has different ideas on. He'll bring a player out. He'll bring in a new player. Like I think with his younger self, it's more acceptable, right? Maybe with his older self, maybe with the he hasn't really won much. I think his last trophy was with Roma, in the Conference League, so not the highest of levels, right? But I still think he could come in and put up a very very good thing to do. Bring control, stabilize the team right now because there's no such thing as nothing stabilized. Vinny and Mbappe, that attack isn't stabilized. The midfield, does Chouameni play? Does Valverde play? Does Camavinga play? Pitaj, is Arda Güler fit? Like the midfield not stabilized, attack not stabilized, and the defense. I don't even need to talk much about the defense. That is not stabilized at all. And I think if we bringing in Jose Mourinho, who is very defensive manager, who in recent years he solidifies his defenses. Right, they might not win the tags, they might not score many goals, but he solidifies his defense in every team he's been in. And I just think someone with the aura, with the character, with just the confidence of Jose Mourinho deserves at least one big job. And he's not going to go to a Premier League team, and because he has to do tactician stuff, he would have to play 4-3-3 with midfield tucking in, or wing backs, or right back tucking in, left back wow, like I think Premier League right now is too manager tactician based, right? But I think Real Madrid is perfect for him. I think he's perfect for us. I think he could come in, he could bench a couple players if he has to. I think he has the full confidence of Florentino, which is I think is the biggest thing, right? Because Xavi Alonso could sit down Vinny and Florentino would be on him, right? Be on, why are you sitting him down? Why are you sitting him down? Florentino can't do that to Jose Mourinho. I know how much power Florentino has. I know how much charisma and how much control he has over everything. But if Florentino, I don't think Florentino would go down to Jose Mourinho and be, why did you bench Vinny? Why did you bench Mbappe? Because he knows how Jose Mourinho is. He knows how Jose Mourinho works. He knows how he just acts. He knows how Jose Mourinho is. So I don't think Florentino would go up to him and say, "Why did you bench Vinny? Why didn't you bench Valverde? Why did you bench Chouameni? Why did you bench Mbappe?" You know, because Mourinho, I think he has Mourinho's full trust. I think Mourinho has his full trust. I think they have a very special relationship that ended when we didn't get the Champions League, right? But he set up that team pretty well, with the likes of Ronaldo, with the likes of Di Maria, Gareth Bale, Modric. He set up that team pretty well, which ultimately led to when Ancelotti came in and won the La Decima. So I think I just like this signing a lot, right? Xavi Alonso is off to Chelsea. You guys should check my video on that. And I think that's a good signing for Chelsea, right? They need a young manager. They need someone a project manager that's gonna that has one, that has experience, that will build something for them, right? But at Real Madrid, we need someone that could stabilize the team. We need someone that controls the egos. Like Jose Mourinho has dealt with egos. He dealt with prime Ibrahimovic. He dealt with prime Balotelli. He dealt with prime Ronaldo, prime Benzema. He dealt with prime Gareth Bale. He's dealt with so many players with huge egos. He's dealt with it. He knows what he's coming into, and especially now, right? He knows specifically what he's going into. He knows that nothing is stabilized. He knows that we're literally have had 2 seasons trophyless, and who better to come in and stabilize and have us improve than Mr. This Jose Mourinho, the special one. I'm excited, right? I'm so excited for this. I know a lot of Real Madrid fans aren't. I know a lot of them are. I know a lot of the world is interested. It's going to be entertaining, right? Hansi Flick versus Jose Mourinho, the new guy that's gone through Ancelotti, that's gone through Xabi Alonso, that's gone through Arbeloa, versus the special one. Like there is no the options were always Zidane, Ancelotti, Jose Mourinho. I think it's the only person that could come into this dressing room, other than Zidane, other than Ancelotti, and give us the best that we can. Like I said, young managers would come in and they would just get destroyed by the egos, because any young manager trying to deal with Mbappe, Vinny, Valverde, Chouameni, it's gonna be a tough ask. And I genuinely believe that Jose Mourinho is the guy for this. I do think that. I think that we need defensive solidarity, and I think there's been reports of Jose Mourinho asking for defensive players. Right? He needs a center back or two. He needs a right back. He needs probably another left back if one of them leaves. Right? But he ultimately needs a Alaba replacement. He needs a Militao replacement, and he just needs probably another young center back, maybe from Castilla. Right? I think Alaba is leaving. I think Militao is too injury prone, and I can't see us go into another season with Rudiger and Dean Housen as our only starting center backs. We need another center back. It just got announced that Rudiger is staying for at least another year. You know how Real Madrid does their contracts, a year, a year, a year for those players over 30. And I just think we need another center back. Schlotterbeck would be amazing. Any other Upamecano, Saliba, Konate, you name it. Another center back is needed at Real Madrid. I would personally want Adam Wharton in midfield, but that's just me. I love Adam Wharton. I think he's one of my favorite players. But if we can't get him, I'm not mad with the midfield options we have, especially with Arda Güler, who's a similar profile to Adam Warren. I like Güler. I really like his end to the season. He got injured. He's out till the World Cup probably. But I just like Arda Güler. We might not need Adam Warren, but I'm fine with Arda Güler. And then attack, I think we're good with Enrique and Nico Paz coming in. I genuinely think we might loan out Mastantono. I think we have players there, but the defense is just so bad. It's so bad. Courtois has has blocked so many chances. He's saved us so many times over the last 2 seasons. Over the last 2 seasons, we wouldn't even have competed up till February if it wasn't for Courtois. Courtois has been the guy for us. I love how much he saved us. He's getting older, so we should probably start looking at some goalkeepers around. Lunin had an alright end to the season. I think he had a couple mistakes against Bayern and a couple mistakes now towards the end of before Courtois came in. The special one, guys. I know some of you guys are probably listening to me saying you're crazy. He's washed. Real Madrid is washed, which I don't think so, right? We still almost beat Bayern, but Jose Mourinho is getting a lot of it's literally like 50-50 of Real Madrid fans like him, 50-50 of Real Madrid fans don't like him, 50-50 of the world is excited. The other 50 thinks that he's washed. So what could we do as fans? What could we do to get ready for this? I think we just gotta wait. I think we gotta see what signings he's gonna want in. I think we can see what players he wants out because he's gonna come in and he's definitely gonna get rid of some players. He's gonna get rid of some of the Spanish players like Ceballos, Carvajal. He's leaving. The captain, he's the last of that three-peat winning Champions League side. He was the last one there. He's definitely gonna get rid of some players, and I think he likes Jude Bellingham. There's like this special video out there where Jude goes up to him. He wants a video with a picture of Jude's mom with Jose Mourinho because he's favorite, but he's hugging Jude Bellingham. He's had past things with Vinicius. With everything that happened when he was at Benfica in the Champions League tie. But before that, he was talking about how he would love to manage Vinicius. How Vinicius is one of his players that he likes. And I think look, there's a lot of talk right now between Mbappe and Vinny, who should be the main guy, right? There's a world out there where Jose Mourinho comes in and makes Jude Bellingham his main guy. I think there's something in Jude that might remind him of a Lampard. There's something in Jude that might remind him of certain players that he likes. He likes these warriors. He likes these people that fight for him. Jude Bellingham is one of those players that will fight for Jose Mourinho. I think he might make Jude. There's a world out there with Mourinho makes Jude Bellingham his main guy because of how much he likes these type of players that work, that hard, that press, that defend, that work everywhere, that help everywhere out. I think there's a very big world, very possible world where Jude Bellingham is Mourinho's main guy, and I'm excited, guys, because whether we like it or not, whether we think he's washed or not, we're at our worst we've ever been. This is worse than 18-19. This is the worst we've ever been because of the expectations that we've had for this team with the players we have. This is the worst we've been, and we need someone special, someone with character, someone with confidence, someone with ego. The special one, Jose Mourinho, is coming into Real Madrid. I'm excited. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure to like and subscribe. And let me know if you're excited. Let me know if you're not. But I am very, very excited. Very excited. Like, I don't think you guys understand how excited I am. I put this shirt on just for this. So, once again, like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts on this. I am very, very excited.